What's up, guys? It is Jada with Jada Live Podcast. So I know I told y'all I'd do this video January 23rd, doing my pre-op, but I kind of forgot. Um, yeah. So we starting a little bit early on the videos. Don't know why. It just feel like it. So I'm gonna be honest. It's weird. You know, like when I started my journey into this entire how do I put this entire bariatric procedure mechanism, like the surgeries, the intervent, all the weird, everything that could be possibly done to lose weight without surgery. I'm gonna be totally honest about this. If this was years ago, you wouldn't convince me to do this surgery. I'm sorry, I'm gonna put it totally out there. You couldn't convince me. But back in 2021, I want to say it was, 2021. I actually met with one of my former surgeons, very good guy, Dr. Gadari over at Banner. And I recommend him to most of my friends. Most of my family comes down to general surgery, bariatric, whatever it may be. And I wanted bariatric surgery back then. And he was like, no, I don't think it's good for you. Just making up a whole bunch of like excuses. Then I realized something. I was like, this is like April, so maybe about June I realized something. I was like, hold up. He's right. I need to find a solution that'll work for me, not for everybody else. So I actually started doing some more candid research into like weight loss providers who do non-surgical options and surgical options. And this is the funny part. Banner has a department just for non-surgical options, which I started with this is like 2022 when I started with this journey, May of 2022, with Dr. Kutab. Super sweet lady. This lady has exceeded my expectation of a doctor. Like, literally. Dr. Kutab, at first she was like, let's try this. Let's try just changing your diet to a no salt diet. See how that works. I lost 10 pounds with that. Alright, cool. Let's keep doing it. I increased my exercising a little bit. Lost another 5 pounds. Cool. Then we decided, this is like my fourth meeting with her. Then we decided, okay, well, we did that. It worked somewhat. We looked at each other. We said this. We was like, let's just try it. If it don't work, we don't have to go back to this idea. Let's go ahead and try Ozempic, which is a weight loss medication, and it's normally prescribed by diabetics. She said, you are a past diabetic. She said, so I don't think the insurance will have a problem covering this medication. I'm looking at her kind of funny. Looking at how I'm trying to figure out, my mind, I'm like, okay, it's a pill. Whatever. It's another damn pill. And that's my mind. She looks at me, she said, no, she said, it is a pill. She said, but it also comes in an injection form for once a week. She said, I would recommend you doing the injection versus the pill with your gastroparesis. I said, all right, Dr. Kutab, no problem. She said, let's add topiramate in that as well. She said, because topiramate don't only help with headaches, but it helps with weight loss. So I'm like, all right, cool, Dr. Kutab, no big deal. I say 30, because I don't weigh myself. Like, I'm going to be totally truthful. I don't weigh myself. I don't care about the scale. When I would go to doctors, I would look up there, see the scale, they'll turn to me. You need to lose weight. You're obese. You're going to die from a heart attack, a stroke. And I looked at one of my doctors, and I said this so many times, and I'll say it again. I looked at one of my doctors, just like this. Didn't care what came out of my mouth. To be truthful, didn't give two fucks. I told this doctor straight up, I was like, look, you tell me I need to lose weight, but god damn it, you're not really giving me no options of how to lose the damn weight. And she was like, well, aren't you seeing a weight loss specialist here? Yeah, Dr. Kutab, what's up? She said, well, ask Dr. Kutab how to lose weight. I'm like, I lost 30 pounds by my damn self. So I'm like, oh, just changing my diet. Cool, whatever. I'm not going to argue with no damn cuckoo ass doctor who thinks they know it all. So as time goes on, I keep taking Ozempic every week. Every Wednesday, it was every Wednesday. Then I switched to every Tuesday. Then I switched to Fridays. And every week it was like I would do Wednesdays for 2 months, then do Tuesdays for 2 months, then do Fridays for a couple of months. And I lost in that time frame 70 fucking pounds. What just Ozempic and topiramate just by itself. And that motivated me. It was funny because this is like my last point with Dr. Kutab back in November. Dr. Kutab asked me one question because she had no idea I was on Barrett. She had no idea I was looking into doing gastric bypass, gastric sleeve. She had no fucking idea I was even look into that shit. Like, she had no knowledge. And I remember her telling me, she was like, you're ready for gastric. She said, you're ready for the last phase of this thing, which is getting your surgery done. She said, I'm going to recommend you to Dr. Gadari. I'm like, he's not going to do it. I already know he's not, so let's not even do that. She's like, all right, do you know a doctor who you feel comfortable with? I said, no, I don't. I said, let me look up a couple of doctors. Let me just search the internet, see what I find out, do a couple of look at the reviews, just think. So I went to Google. I typed in bariatric surgery, went through like 6 websites, I think it was. There was a couple that I didn't really care for due to, it wasn't even the reviews, it was just the way I got a vibe from it. So I X'd them 3 out. Then I got down to Dr. Higa and Dr. Weiner, which works together. Who used to work together as Sororo Surgical, and they used to work together at Tucson Weight Loss. And I was laughing at myself because I was like, I know Dr. Weiner. He was going to do my surgery back in 2019 when I was going to originally do it. And I just don't know what came over me back then just not to do it. But I went to Dr. Hickle's website, read the website, watched the video, watched a seminar of him going over the procedures, him talking about the different types of surgeries, introducing himself. And I felt a sense of relaxation with him, and I made the compelling decision like a week later to reach out to his office to see if my insurance was contracted. Luckily, it was, because not many insurances are contracted with bariatric doctors. He's also GS, what I call general surgeons. So my first day meeting him, I'm like, all right, this is gonna be another damn fucking dumbass doctor gonna tell me I can't do it. Find somebody else. No. I go to this man's office. His front staff is amazing. They welcome me with open arms. It was like, oh yeah, hey, thank you for filling out the paperwork in advance. Thank you for giving us your medical records. Thank you for submitting everything that we need you to submit. And this was like before my actual appointment with this man. So I'm the first patient there. It's at 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't normally do 8 o'clock in the morning, but he was like, I need you there at 8. All right, cool. I go in the room. I'm sitting there. I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I'm freaking out. I'm not lying. I'm like freaking out in my brain. My brain is like, my anxiety's going through the roof. He knocks on the door. He said, may I come in? I'm like, yeah, you can come in. He walks in with I think it was a student of his. Or a scribe, not sure. I think it was a student. If I'm mistaken, sorry, Dr. Hick. I don't remember. I remember the damn appointment. I think it was a scribe. And he walked in and said, my name is Guillermo Higa. He said, how can I be of assistance to you? And something just snapped in my brain. And I'm like, so I explained to him, what happened over the last couple of years, what the bariatric surgeon told me. He stopped me dead in my tracks. He said, and I'm going to tell you what this man said to me. He said, I don't care about that. He said, I care about what you want. What do you feel is comfortable for your body? He said, he said, I went over your history. I went over everything. He said, I think the gastric sleeve would be perfect. All right. He said, I'm going to set you up with my nutritionist, Billy Joe. So I'm like, all right, cool. Kind of found out Billy Joe's actually a nurse practitioner as well. So I met with Billy Joe over the phone. And the first time I met with Billy Joe, she was going over my medical history with me. She was like, hey, I'm going to talk to Dr. Higa because I know it's in your chart you have gastroparesis. She said, with the gastric sleeve, she said you wouldn't be able to do it because of your gastroparesis. I said, all right, cool. She said, let's talk at our next appointment, which was like a couple of months later. All right, this is our second appointment. She said, she was going over my blood work I sent to her. She said everything looks good. Your EKG looks perfect. Your cardiologist clearance letter looked good. She was like, all we're waiting on is your psychiatrist. Like I gave everybody all the clearance letters. So I talked with my psychiatrist, Dr. Martin over at 380. She's super dope. She said, I don't mind doing the letter, but it needs to wait. All right, cool. Well, it's my last visit with Billy Joe. Billy Joe's like, we really need that psych out. So I'm like, all right, what other psych doctor do we have who can do this? Because I know mine probably is going to take another 3 to 6 months to do it. She was like, I set you up with one. Give this number a call tomorrow. Okay, I gave this number a call. It was a psychiatric doctor who do telehealth up in Phoenix. I'm like, all right, super nice, cool, whatever. A couple of weeks later, he calls me up. Psychiatrist, he goes over my medical history, he goes over my psych history, my inpatient hospitalizations. He go over if I binge eat, all that. I explained to him, I said, I don't binge eat, I don't emotionally eat, I don't do none of that. Like, I don't. He was like, all right. He was like, I don't see. He told me the truth. He said, I have never met a patient who knows what they're doing, knows the risk of this surgery, and does not have a eating disorder. He said, I have never met a patient like that. He said, normally it takes me 4 or 5 visits to agree to write this letter, but for you, I'm going to write it right now. And I sent it right over to Dr. Higa. Cool. A couple of weeks went by. I asked them, did they get the letter? They said, sure, we got it. It was in good standing. All right, cool. Now we're thinking, now me and Billy Joe talked. Billy Joe's like, all right, this is our last we're going to submit this to prior out to the insurance. Give it like 14 days, which is 2 weeks. If you don't hear nothing, give us a call. All right. At this point, it's like a week and a half. I call the insurance. Hey, just verifying if y'all received a prior auth for Dr. Higa. They said, yeah, we received it. It hasn't been looked upon yet. All right, cool. I get a notification from my insurance. Your prior auth has been approved. I don't know what prior auth they're talking about because I had 2 prior auths from 2 different doctors. So I called them the next morning. Hey, can you tell me what prior auth was approved? They looked at my stuff. They said, oh yeah, the one from Dr. Higa was approved. We sent it out a week, like 2 days prior to me calling. She said, it was approved. You're good to go. I'm like, cool. I got the letter in the mail. I sent a snapshot of it to the doctor. I'm like, here go the approval letter. Blah, 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 blah. What do we need to do? They said they're going to send a message to the surgery scheduler. All right, cool. I didn't hear nothing from that lady. She's a sweet lady, though. I go up to the office, just out of the blue because I was in the area. Hey, is the surgery scheduler here? Can I speak to her? Yeah, no problem. They had me wait. They had me sit down for a minute. About 5-10 minutes later, oh, come with me. She's in our next building. All right, cool. We go and listen. She said, I'm Alyssa. I'm the surgery scheduler. I'm like, cool. Hey, Alyssa. I'm Jada. She said, yeah, nice to meet you. She said, she was looking at the schedule. She said, all right, we can do your pre-out January 23rd with our new nurse practitioner. I'm like, at what time? She said 8 o'clock. I'm like, I didn't even get a chance to say yes or no to it. She just put it down. All right, cool. She said February 20th. I thought she said February 23rd. It was the 22nd. She said February 22nd is your surgery day. She said your surgery is 3 hours long. She said, you probably will be his first patient. which means you have to be at the hospital between 5 and 5:30, which your surgery means your surgery going to be at 7:30. She said, but I call you on the 21st to give you the exact time to be there. She said, you can always show up early because it'll help out a lot. And I live 6 minutes from where I'm having the surgery, which is Tucson Medical Center. So it's cool with me. I live 6 minutes away. All right, I go home. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, what else? I'm trying to come up with solutions here. In my brain, I'm like, at this point, I'm reaching out to Dr. Kutop again. I'm like, hey, this is, I got proof of bariatric surgery, gastric bypass. Can we make January my last visit with you? She said, oh yeah, congratulations. We'll make January your last visit with me. And I was like, cool, that's fine. And then I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, all right, what can I do from now to the 23rd of January to prep myself for this change? I sit here for a couple of minutes thinking, okay, what can I do? So I'm like, all right, let's look on YouTube. Random thought. Let's type in bariatric surgery. Random thought. Really, random thought. Typed it in. List, everything comes up. So I start watching how the surgeries perform, like live surgeries. Of this, like recorded maybe a couple of days, like maybe a day and a half before. Surgeries performed, I'm watching how it's done, watching techniques that it's all robotic. So I'm watching it. I'm enjoying don't get me wrong, I don't know like surgical shit like that, but I'm enjoying watching this. Then I watched Q&A videos on it. I came across the pre-op class. A pre-op class. Cool, that's what I was looking for. It's like 40 minutes long. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I've been watching videos for about 3 hours straight on YouTube for bariatric surgeries. Questions, different stuff. So I've been up. I've been up watching videos. So it's 2 o'clock. I'm like, all right, 40 minutes, 2:40, 2:50. It'll be finished. I'm listening. I don't skip none of it. I'm like getting a notebook, taking pinpoint notes. Okay, well, you need this much protein for this. You need this for this. You need that for. Okay, thinking in my head. Okay, I know what the plan's gonna be. Do that. Calculating in my head what I need to do. So after it goes off, I go to Google. I'm like, no, it was Amazon actually. I go to Amazon, bariatric. I type in bariatric, protein stuff, bariatric multivitamins, whatever, to see how much it was gonna cost. It's not cheap, but it is what it is. So I found everything I need for bariatric stuff, like the soup, the protein stuff. I found it on Amazon. All right, cool. I'm like, cool, I can deal with that. So then I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, all right, what else am I missing? I'm like, that. So then I go back to Dr. Hickle website. I signed for his pre-op class, which is tomorrow. So I'm like, the 28th at 6 o'clock. I'm like, cool, I can go on Zoom, listen to what they have to say, take some more notes, cool. I'm like, all right, now here we go. I'm like, it's time. In my mind, I'm not switching the gears up in my brain. I'm like, it's now time to start working, putting this stuff in motion. Portion control. You can only eat 2 tablespoons of that. You can only eat 2 tablespoons of this. 2 tablespoons, So I'm like, I got the bariatric, menu up. Not menu, but the servings. Sizes. So I'm measuring out everything I'm eating, So I've been doing that lately. And, one of the benefits I learned with this lately, and it's a little trick I be doing. I get hungry. When I have my little cravings, like hunger cravings, I don't get up and go snack. I literally get up, put on some shoes, open my front door, and go out my door, walk out the driveway, down up the sidewalk, back up the sidewalk, back in the driveway like 4 times in a row. My neighbors see me doing that. I actually got a question a couple of days ago about that. Why do I constantly do that? And I told him, I'm like, I'm gonna go under bariatric surgery, so and I'm trying to manipulate my brain to realize that it can't have food every time it wants food. So she's like, oh, that's a good trick. All right, so I'm like, that's just the way I trick my brain. And throughout the day, I watch, I don't know how many damn videos on bariatric surgery and just listen to them talk. Listen to people's journeys, and I'm like, this is interesting. Very interesting. So I'm like, I am more than capable with this surgery. I'm like, I got my own support. Myself is good enough. I have support. Don't get me wrong, I do. And, I don't ask people to be at my surgeries. If they want to come, that's cool. I'm not tripping over it, because I'm so used to it. So, in my mind, I'm like, I know, the line's ain't great. The line's over here, and I'm over here. So, I'm like, alright, cool. The surgery is the 22nd. I get there. I'm calculating everything in my brain cells of the day of the surgery. Okay, I get up at 3, take a shower, make sure, go down my checklist of my hospital bag, make sure I have insurance cards, ID, which I have. I don't have that. I got all that. I'm like, have everything I need. Check. Just go down my list. And I said, I leave. I live 6 minutes. Hospital open at 5:00 in the morning. I said, I get there around 4:59ish, 4:45, whatever. And I said, once they open at 5:00, I will go to the second floor, check in. They should call me around 5:15 to 5:30. Go in there, start getting prepped, get the gown on, get the IV started, get the meds, go use the bath, do all that routine. Meet with the anesthesiologist, meet with Dr. Higa, and then, when they ready for me to be wheeled to the OR, do all that, get on the table, get the meds, go to sleep. Wake up in POCU, everything that I see happening the right way. I know that surgery can be delayed due to a surgeon being late. So I'm not tripping over that. I'm happy about it. It's something that I find comforting. Not surgery per se, but it's just something I find very comforting about this stuff. And I'm happy that, in the way I look at it, I'm doing something for me. Not for nobody else. For me. And when you look at it from an outside in, some people say it's selfish to do that. And I have to tell people, it's not selfish. When you have tried dieting, exercise, when you have tried every diet, exercising, and you lose 5-10 pounds and that's it, what else do you try at that point? You own the weight loss medication. You're losing the weight, and then you get to a point where the medication no longer works. Now you're in your brain, you're sitting there thinking, okay, what do I do? Okay, now you go to bariatric. Now you start researching bariatric surgeries and different things that can help you with tools and help you along the way. That's what I did. I didn't rush to this idea. I took a couple of years to figure out what I was going to do. And for me, I'm content with it. I'm very content with it. Like, very 100% content with this shit. So, I'm going to say this to y'all. Find what makes you happy with your weight loss. And don't let nobody stop you. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. If you know surgery's going to work, and you try the methods that everybody giving you, it has not worked, go for it. That's my personal belief about this. My personal. And as this journey continues, I'm gonna keep updating y'all. I'm gonna keep, giving y'all my perspective of it. I'm gonna be totally honest. The day of surgery, I don't know if I'm gonna be doing a damn video. I might and I might not, give or take. But I think I might. So let's see how it goes. I love y'all. Have a wonderful and safe New Year's Eve and be blessed.